So let's proceed now. What is polymorphism? Uh, Polymorphism means defining one thing in many forms. For example, it can be a method and it can be a variable. I have a method void display. This is one method. So this void display, the name and the signature except parameters, can be written in many forms. Int b. This is known as polymorphism. Even you can have the same parameter also, but different data type. So how you're going to create an object and call these methods? If you are defining it as obj.display of 1.2 f, 3, this one will be called, because the first value is float and the second value is int. In the same way, if I specify 3, 3, then the second one will be called. This is what how the compiler, that is nothing but the JVM, will differentiate all this stuff. So if I specify only 3 over there, the same thing will be followed. Oh, here there is nothing so called 3. Let me add over here. So this one will be called. So this is nothing but a polymorphism. Actually, there are two types of polymorphism. One is method overloading and method overriding. So method overloading is a concept of this, and method overriding we will be seeing down the line. So let's talk in, this is what a practical and the Java description of a polymorphism. Let's see all this stuff in theoretical perspective. So poly is a Greek word which means many. Morphism is nothing but forms. Defining anything in many forms is known as polymorphism. There are two types of polymorphism. The one is compile time and the another one is runtime. Compile time polymorphism, it supports the concept of method overloading, and this one will be supporting a concept of method overriding. Okay, method overriding, as well as there is one more concept so called dynamic polymorphism. And this is also called as static. So we are going to see all this stuff in detail now. Let me take one by one. Program based on polymorphism. Public class demo. So here we have a public void display. So what it is? Single argument. Let me 1 minute. This is from 0 argument. In the same way, public void display of int a. So system dot out dot println to argument. So now, as per the standards, we have to write the new method. So here, demo d equals to new demo d dot display. What will be the output for this? Error. Okay. So what kind of Srinivas? Okay, println mistake is there. Oops, good catch. Yeah. What will be the output now? So this is from 0 argument will get displayed in this case. And yeah. So semicolon is missing. Where the semicolon is missing? Oh, semicolon, double quotes, all these things are missing over here. Okay, we are missing many things. Perfect. So if I give 3.14f, which one will be called? Now this has become a bit tricky. I'm trying to call the second one. Will the second one will call? Let's ask to JVM, because I said you that based on the values you have provided, you will be calling it. So let me call it. So the name of the program will be demo.java. So let me check which one will be called in this case. So you can see that here you are getting an error. So why we are getting an error? Because you are looking for integer, you are looking for float, and the float is not defined here. Can someone tell me what will be the output now? Same thing. So how to address this issue? This you have to make it as float. Again same. So float will be represented with f. So this is from one argument. Okay. So there is nothing much to explain in this. Fine. So this is known as method overloading, and we have also learned about the constructor overloading in the previous class. Let me take that as well. So here it will be so how do you overload a constructor? Int a okay. So how do you call it? Demo d1 equals to new demo of demo. So in this way you are going to call it. So this is known as constructor overloading. Fine. So we have also learned one thing over here. In order to avoid the creation of object, what else? What is a substitute way we have? Come on guys, speak up. Yeah. this. Same output, even though we have created one object. So method overloading is not that much tricky. It's very simple. Let's go with the overriding, and then we will be seeing a dynamic polymorphism. So method overriding also comes under dynamic polymorphism, but dynamic polymorphism using interface is very valuable. So that we will be seeing down the line. So the second concept over here is method overriding. What do you understand by the term method overriding? In this case, we will be having two or more classes and same methods. The two signature will also be same. So this is known as method overriding. So first of all, how many classes do we need here? Come on guys, how many classes do we need there? Yeah, class ABC, and here I have public void display. I'm going for one more class greater than equal to 2. Yeah, correct. Both the points are valid. System.out. Even though the access specifier should also be same. This is from display. So here, just for the identification, ABC, here it will be correct. So now this is for our sake. Let me remove this. So method overriding will be done on the top of inheritance. Because of this only we first teach inheritance and go for the polymorphism. So now what I'm doing is I'm going for object def dot display. What will be the output for this? ABD and DEF. Okay, you mean to say ABC and DEF will be the output. Okay, what about others? What is your views over here? Yeah, come on guys, speak up. From DEF, someone have given from DEF. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's ask to JVM now. What will be the output over here? I'm clearing the screen. Demo.java, Java demo. You are right. We are getting DEF. I have a couple of open questions with you. Why we are going for polymorphism? Why we are going for, that is nothing but method overriding. See, the same thing you can get without extending a class also, right? the same output you will get. Why we are taking this much pain and writing a class and XYZ? The reason for doing all this stuff is, by going in this way, you are breaking the functionality. When you will do this, when you are not happy with one functionality and you don't have access to change that functionality, so in that case you will be going for overriding. For example, here there is some business logic. For time being, we are taking system.out.println. There is some business logic. You want to change that business logic, and you don't have access for ABC, and your class is also extending ABC because other methods is having a dependency. In order to avoid this, we will be changing the functionality by overriding it. So here we are overriding it. Okay. Let me repeat once again. Why we are going to override a class? We are overriding a class because we are overriding a method because we are not happy with the existing method functionality. So in order to change the functionality, we are overriding it. In overriding, the name and the signature of the method will be same. Only the business logic, this is nothing but the business logic, this will get changed. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So overriding I will take you in detail because equals and this overriding concept is very important with respective to equals and hash code. We will be learning more on string class, which we have down the line in the next coming days. Tomorrow, hope so. So this is nothing but overriding with method. I have one open question to you. Here I am finding the output as DEF. I want to call ABC also. So what are the needfuls need to be done over there? If I don't extend here, will the output come like that? Let me show you. It is still DEF. Come on, any other way? Create object for ABC also. I don't want to create object for ABC. That's a good idea. That's a very good approach you have analyzed. But I don't want to create the object of ABC because when I'm saying extends, then it doesn't mean that we should go for object, one more object. Very good answer. Using super. So let's talk about the super. Super is a keyword which is used for calling a superclass method. If you are using method, then it is used for calling a superclass method. If you are using a constructor, then it is used for calling a superclass constructor. One with constructor also we will be saying down the line. Okay. Another point is super should be the what? Always super should be the first line of statement. Now the time comes for difference between the super and this. Can someone tell me the difference between super and this? This is for the current class and super is for different class. Very good. Very valid point. Another one. Both should be the first line of statement. Okay? And both cannot be existed in a single quote. Let's try that. So super should also be the same one. The first line it should be, and this should also be at the first line. We can't write in the single line two things, right? So you are getting error. So you cannot go for both at a time. So this example will be pretty more clear when we go with constructors. Let me deal with constructor overriding. We have seen the method overriding. Now let us see the constructor overriding. I'm sorry, constructors cannot be overridden. Okay, I'm taking my point back because it makes sense that you can't go for ABC over here. Correct? Now, the time has come to create the object of DEF. So here it is 10. Can someone tell me the output of this? Have a look at the error and explain me what exactly the gap is. Can someone tell me what is why we are getting output like that? Why we need to define a default constructor over there? So guys, I hope you have remembered the point. What I said, you constructors cannot be inherited. So this is what a proof of the point. So when you are calling this, it will not be calling the above one. So let me show you something here, some tricky thing, and then we will be coming back to this point. Here we have two things to answer. One is constructor cannot be inherited and addressing that issue. So here it will be system.out.println. Yeah, before going for execution of this program, I want you to give the output of this. So what is the output here? Guys, are you there? Okay. Okay, you are waiting for the main method here. I'm sorry. Yeah, from DEF. This question you will be getting damn when you are writing your written text. Okay, if you have something so-called written text in your interview, and damn you are going to get failed in this one, especially for this question. Don't take my words in a wrong way. Because I too have committed the same mistake many times. Okay? Might be your eyes are open by seeing this output. So nothing to get scared over here, nothing to get worried over here. I will be explaining you. So whenever you write extends ABC, what does it mean? It will be calling a default constructor from here. Are you getting me? Whenever you are defining extends ABC, first, what is your project? What is your application? It is like calling a DEF default constructor. It will be coming to the DEF class. From here, it will be looking for extends ABC. So it will be going to the super class first. And it will be executing the default constructor of the super class. And then getting back and executing the default constructor of the subclass. This is not constructor inheritance. This is nothing but one way of creation of object. So in this case, total two objects will get created here, DEF and ABC. When you're calling DEF and ABC, both objects will get created. Okay, let me prove you one more thing over here. I'm going to go for parameterized constructor int A and parameterized constructor int A. So what will be the output of this program? Come on, speak up. No output? No output means empty result, you mean to say? Okay. Priyanka has said there will be an error. Okay. Swapna also supports the same answer which is given by other. No output. Let's ask to the JVM and check what will be the output for this program. So you people are absolutely right. There will be an error because it makes sense over here. When you are having a parameterized constructor, you have to call the parameterized one by calling in this way. Now guys, come on, tell me what will be the output. So majority have given DEF over here. Rethink about it. Can someone tell me what is the result here? Why we are getting like this? Let me explain you the reason. What I said you, extends ABC means it will be looking for whom? It will be looking for, come on speak up. ABC what? Constructor, which constructor? Very good. ABC default constructor. Now you can see that got the perfect output. Okay, and even your parameterized constructor didn't get called. So constructors cannot be inherited. If the constructors are inherited, then they should also get called. But this part is not called. Very good, very good question. I really appreciate this guy, Kishore, that he has asked a very valid question over here. JVM will provide a default constructor, then why we are getting error over there? So guys, if you're writing a one parameter or n number of, when you're defining a parameterized constructor, JVM will not define a default constructor. You have to explicitly define if you need. So this is the answer for that, and this type of questions you will be finding more. Now my question is how to call ABC. I want to call ABC. Kishore, is your question answered? Thank you. So I want to see the output of ABC as well as DEF. How to go with that? Come on guys, make it fast. For going for that, can you tell me what will be the output of this program? So the main method is having only a parameterized constructor. Now what will be the output? From DEF. Okay. Any other output? Okay. Let me check this. Yes, from default and DEF. So why we are getting default over there? Let me repeat once again. Whenever you are writing extends, it will be looking for default. Even though if you have parameterized also, it will be looking for default. Now my question is, I want to call uh, this is from ABC parameterized one. How to do that? Yes, very good. We can use super here. My question is, what about default? Where is default? Default should get called, right? Then where is default? Yeah, by using a super, we have called, see, the basic funda over here is if you call any one constructor, then extends will not be calling a default one. Okay, but when you are using a parameterized one, you have to define the default also. If you want to call directly a default, then zero parameter you specify. I'm sorry, I didn't compile, so you can go in this way. So I hope this method overloading and method overriding has been addressed. Let's proceed one step forward. That is nothing but program based on method overriding using interface. If you understand this, then you will be coming to know that how the Spring concept has been introduced. Spring framework we are going to see down the line, that you will be clear. So without wasting our time, because we have many concepts to discuss, import java.land.star and interface I am using now. Let me take a simple one. Shape is an interface here, and this interface is having a method draw. I have two classes, circle and another class is triangle. So circle is implementing shape and triangle is also implementing a shape. So whenever we go for implements, it means that all abstract methods need to be inherited over here. Public void draw, you should go for implementation of abstract methods. System dot out dot println. This is from draw shape. Draw ABC, that is nothing but circle I am giving you. And in the same way, here we will be following with draw from triangle. Okay, so I am having a third class here, and this third class is going to be a main class. So because of that, it is public, and here I have a main method. It's nothing but public static void main string arc, and here we are going for triangle. Triangle equals to new triangle. Triangle dot draw. What will be the output of this program? Semicolon. Okay. Is the semicolon here? When I am missing here, then definitely I might have missed over here. Yeah. What will be the output? This is from draw triangle. let me show you the output. This is from draw triangle. In the same way, if I am going for circle, still it is a compile time polymorphism only. We have not yet used the concept of runtime. We will be using, let's clear with the compile time. This is from circle. So if you're creating the object of triangle, you are getting triangle, and if you're creating the object of circle, you are getting circle. There is one more concept called as reference. What do you understand by the reference? The reference is nothing but the superclass or super interface will be defined here. Shape equals to new triangle. And I'm going like this. So what you are getting? This is from triangle. So let's understand what is reference first of all. Reference is something where the superclass or the super interface will be defined. So here the shape is defined, and this shape is calling a triangle. So it depends, if you're calling a triangle over here, it will be calling a triangle draw, and if you're calling a circle over here, it will be calling a circle, because both of them is having a super interface as shape. So this is known as referencing, and deciding which one to be called is known as dynamic polymorphism. Here you are deciding which one to be called. You are deciding like triangle to be called, you are deciding like circle to be called, or if you have pentagon, you can go for pentagon. If you have rectangle, you can go for rectangle. So based on this, you are calling that. Okay, dynamic level you are deciding. But still, if we find that there is some gap over here, so still you are showing the business logic. Split. What I am doing is, for this I am going to address it by going for another method. So whatever comes over here in shape, that particular will be called. Okay, let me take this one as display polygon and static. So by saying this, you can't assume that by saying this much code, like what all methods are getting called over there. If you are having draw, you are calling a draw. If you are having a shape, you will be calling a shape. And you are having a result, you will be showing the result. Coordinates. So deciding which one to be called, this is called as dynamic polymorphism. So Spring has addressed this issue. That issue I will be explaining you once I start the Spring framework. So down the line we will be starting about the Spring framework. Okay. So in short, just by defining a new triangle, you are getting a triangle. Just by defining a new circle, you are getting a circle. So you are deciding at the runtime which one to be called. So this is known as dynamic polymorphism. So dynamic polymorphism is clear to you all. I do understand that this is a bit tricky concept, but this will be clear and easy for you if you go for practicing it. Other than that, this example you have to execute 3 to 4 times and only you will be clear. And if it is not clear, you can get back to me. I will explain you the clear-cut concept of dynamic polymorphism. So that's it. We are done with the polymorphism. So in polymorphism, we have seen 2 types of polymorphism. One is compile time and one is runtime. Method overloading comes under the compile time. Method overriding plus dispatching a polymorphism comes under this one. So Dynamic polymorphism, 98% question will be there. In the same way, difference between the abstract class and interface. This is important, and this one is also important, whatever we have covered till now. So now we are going to see a quick review on Eclipse framework. Sorry, Eclipse is not a framework, Eclipse is an IDE. So how many of you are aware about Eclipse? If you are aware, you can ping yes. If you're not aware, you can ping no. Is there someone who is not aware? So if you are aware also, it's my work to explain you what exactly the Eclipse is, because there are many students in our batch who are not aware of all this stuff. They are new to Java. So first of all, Eclipse is an IDE. IDE is nothing but predefined tool which is used for defining a predefined syntaxes, which is used for compiling your class, which is used for executing your class, executing your project and all. By using a IDE, the things will be pretty clear and pretty simple, and Java learning will also become very easy. It is something like, in spite of doing the manual work, giving a work to the machine. The responsibility if you give to the machine, and what happens, your machine will be responsible for working as per your requirement. So that is nothing but integrated development tool. So in order to work with IDE, you have to download Eclipse. So this you have to give. If you give Java only, then it is only applicable for core Java. If you give Java EE, then it is applicable for Java, core Java, advanced Java, all will be covered except JME. Mobile edition will not be covered with this. So you have to go with Eclipse repository. We are least bothered whether it is a Lunar, Indigo, Galileo or XYZ. These are the versions of Eclipse. It's loading. Will this come back today? We go with another website. Yeah, this one is up. So here you have to go for 32-bit or 64-bit. It depends upon you which one you want to go. So if you want to go with 32-bit, what is required over there is your Java should also be of 32-bit. 32-bit will also support for 64-bit Java. If you have Java of 64-bit and you're downloading Eclipse of 32-bit, it will be a problem. So if you're not aware which version of Java you have, you can go for Java half-an version, or else you can go with the 32-bit. So I'm going for 64-bit. So it will be downloading over here. So I need to go for download. So the size of this is 269 MB. I don't want to go with that because I have downloaded this earlier. Let me show you how Eclipse looks like. And then Java software and Eclipse. So when you download, here I have downloaded a Kepler. Here we have downloaded a Mars. MERS is there. So it doesn't matter which version you are downloading. You can go with Luna also. Luna is the latest one. So once you are downloaded, you will be getting this folder. And once you extract that folder, then inside that you will be having an Eclipse. So I have extracted that and I have an Eclipse over here. So double click and go for this blue one, exe file. So once you double click that, it will be loading. So I want to start a neat workspace here. You don't have to do all that things. Once you are double clicking that, you will be getting this type of Eclipse. The window which is going to come is like this, which is I have taken. So here you have like this. Okay, so you need to close this one. And now you are standing in a clean slate. In Eclipse, you don't have anything over here. So after this, what you have to do is you have to go for File, New. I'm sorry, it should be File, New, and then go for Other, and then Java Project. Okay, and then what you have to do is you have to specify the name of the project. Hello world, I am giving over here. So just click on next and finish. So if you expand it, you will be getting like this. Go to the source folder and go for new class. So defining a class is pretty simple over here. It's very simple, like just by giving the name, you will be getting a class. Demo I have given. You got a class, demo over there. So if you want, you can write the comments over here. Program based on hello world. Import java.lang.package. Now you want a main method. Type main and press control space. You will be getting this window. Press enter. You will be getting a main method. So how do we display hello world? In system.out.println. So what you have to do is you have to write syso, syso, and press control space. You will be getting system.out.println. Hello. Save it. Right click over here. Run as Java application you have to give. So you will be getting the output hello. So whatever examples we have done till today, I request you to practice all those examples in Eclipse. There are various advantages of Eclipse, like if you want to go for interface, you have interface ready. If you want to go for servlet, you have a servlet ready. If you want to go for anything like Spring, I want to go, Spring is ready. Structs, I want to go, Structs is ready. Frameworks are also ready with this by importing a plugin. If you want to go with Ant, Maven, Maven is also ready. All this stuff is already existing in this one. So in order to support this, this is what a reason why people support Eclipse and why Eclipse is widely used. Okay, so Eclipse is widely used. There are many reasons. Among them, Eclipse is the one which is an open source. In market, we have many Eclipse, NetBeans, MyEclipse, IntelliJ, and many more are there. So among this all, the IDE which is used commonly across the development sector is Eclipse. NetBeans nobody will be using. IntelliJ, like 1% people will be using IntelliJ, because IntelliJ is having many advanced features, but it is a paid one. It's not an open source. Okay, so about the shortcuts and many more things about the Eclipse we will be seeing down the line. So tomorrow we are going to start access specifier. First, what I will do is I will go for string class and then object array and then access specifier we will be seeing. If you have any questions, you can stay on the call. If you don't have anything to ask, you can drop off. You all are welcome. So thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Bye.